The Westminster Massacre, March 13, 1775, was the killing of 2 men by British colonial officials. A band of local men led by the local sheriff in Westminster, Vermont, which was then part of the New Hampshire Grants, whose control was at the time disputed between its residents and the province of New York. The event happened 5 years after the Boston Massacre. Our Country, by Benson J. Lossing 1877. The precedence as to the time and place where blood was first shed in the Revolution is claimed for Westminster, Vermont, where, more than a month before the affair at Lexington, officers of the Crown, in endeavoring to subdue a mob, caused the death of one of the rioters. The event is recorded in an epitaph inscribed upon a slab of slate in the old burial ground at Westminster, in the following words: "In memory of William French, son to Mr. Nathaniel French, who was shot at Westminster, March 13, 1775, by the hands of cruel ministerial tools of George E. 3d, in the courthouse at 11 o'clock at night, in the 22nd year of his age. Here William French his body lies. For murder his blood for vengeance cries. King George III his Tory crew tar with a ball his head shot through. For liberty and his country's good he lost his life. His dearest blood." Quote, http www.publicbookshelf.com public_html our_country_volume_2 William F_FH html Old Bennington, Vermont. The Westminster Massacre polarized Vermonters and helped to fill the ranks of the Green Mountain Boys for the defense of Vermont. 2 months after the massacre, they would agree that the British posed a bigger threat and marched to Fort Ticonderoga for the defense of Boston. http www.revolutionaryday.com US Route 7, Bennington, default. htm The massacre at Westminster, Vermont, on the northerly end of the lower street, on the brow of the terrace overlooking the upper street, occurred the first organized resistance to the oppression of King George's tyrannical courts, and here was shed the first blood of the Revolution. March 13, 1775. The story has often been told how a few determined men met there and took possession of the courthouse to prevent the session of next day's court, and the officers of the court attacked them, and that one man was killed and another fatally injured. The attempt of the sturdy citizens was successful, for the session of court was not held, nor was it ever held again in this county under the rule of the king. http www.vermontgenealogy.com History, massacre _at_Westminster_Vermont. htm The Westminster Massacre. The Westminster Massacre of March 13, 1775 is viewed by some as the first battle of the American Revolution. http www.vermonthistory.org freedom_and_unity new_frontier massacre. html Windham County 1884. Hamilton Child. Here the old church still stands, built in 1770, which in its early days housed a generation of worshippers who bore a prominent part in the struggle of the state and nation for independence. Near the northern end of the street lies the old burying ground which entombs the bones of the fathers, and among them those of the young and ardent patriot, William French, to whom history accords a place as the first martyr of the Revolution. A few rods distant from the cemetery, almost at the brow of a gentle hill, is the site of the old courthouse. See page 33, where French was shot in 1775. http www.westminsterhistory.net p = 101. See also List of massacres in Vermont. Green Mountain Boys. Further reading. Westminster. By Rev. F. J. Fairbanks. The New England Historical and Genealogical Register. http smallstuff.com. French DNA tree 6. htm. http www.ibrattleborough.com. Brain Trust Index. php. Title equals William_French.